We want to identify under this video how to simply know which of the reactant is your limiting reactant and which of it is your excess reactant. And then there is a question at the board. 5 moles of nitrogen is placed in a container with 9 moles of hydrogen. 85 grams of ammonia are produced. What is the percentage yield? Now, in this video, I'm not actually interested in the calculation aspect. I want to teach you categorically how you can simply identify which of these is your excess reactant, which of these is your limiting reactant. Now, the first way to do is one of the ways to do it is either you are using mole to coefficient to get it, or you are using reactant masses. Now, using mole to coefficient ratio to get it, this is the already balanced equation at the board, and so we already have 5 moles of nitrogen, and then you have 9 moles of hydrogen. Now the next thing you do is you divide it by the coefficient. Here the coefficient of nitrogen here is 1, this number at the front, and then here the coefficient of hydrogen here is 3, right? And so this divided by this should give you 5, and this should give you 3. Now, you can see that hydrogen have the lesser number. Therefore, it is what? The limiting reactant. And this one have the higher number. Therefore, this one is the excess reactant. Now, in some question, they will not give you moles. They will not give you moles. They may give you the grams of nitrogen and grams of hydrogen, and they're asking you which one is a limiting reactant or excess reactant. All you have to do is remember that moles is mass all over molar mass. So if you have mass, you can divide it by the molar mass to get the moles, and then you still come here to do the moles to coefficient ratio for you to know which of it is your excess reactant and which of it is your limiting reactant. And so this is it. Now, the second method you use to know which of this is your excess or limiting reactant is to use what I call the reacting masses. We are going to use nitrogen to calculate to know the mass of this, use hydrogen to calculate to know the mass of this, whichever the mass of the product. Now, whichever reactant gives us the least mass of the product is the limiting reactant. Now, look at what I'm saying. From this, now let me use nitrogen, the mass of nitrogen, to get the mass of the product, which is the ammonia. Now from here, look at it very well. On the stoichiometry, we have that 1 mole of ammonia will give you 1 mole of nitrogen will give you 2 moles of ammonia, right? And so from here, you can see this, and the molar mass of nitrogen is 14. So we have 2 nitrogen here, so that will give you 28 grams of nitrogen to give you ammonia. Now ammonia, this will give you 14 plus 3. The molar mass of an ammonia is 17. 17 times 2 should give you 34. So this will give you 34 grams of NH3. Now remember, from here I want to use the mass of this to get the mass of the product. But I was giving moles, right? So remember I said moles is mass all over molar mass. So if I want to calculate my mass, it is moles times molar mass. So you have 5 times your molar mass, which is 14. So 5 times 14 should give you 140. So this should give you 140 grams of N2. So to give you S gram of this. So your S should be cross multiplied. You have 140 grams of N2 times 34 grams of ammonia, right? And so you divide by 28 grams of nitrogen. This will cancel this. And so 140 times 24 divided by 28 what you should get is 170 grams of ammonia. Now keep this thing here. Let's go to use the mass of this hydrogen to calculate the mass of the product. Now using hydrogen, look at it, you see 3 moles react with 2 moles of nitrogen, right? So 3 moles. Of course, the molar mass of hydrogen is 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3 should give you 6. So this is 6 grams of hydrogen to give you the same 34 grams of ammonia. And then of course you have 9 moles of hydrogen, right? So 9 times the molar mass of hydrogen there is 1. So that should give you what? 9 times so from here we have 9 times 2, the hydrogen exists as the atomic, that will give you 18. Now, if you come to this place, 18 grams of H2 to give you what? X of which ammonia. And so from this place, you have that X is equals to, by cross multiply, is equals to 18 times 34 divided by 6. And that will give you 102 grams of ammonia. Now, look at this. Nitrogen gives you 170 grams. While hydrogen gives you 102 grams. Now you can see that nitrogen was the one that gives you the highest one, while hydrogen gives you the least amount in grams. And therefore, from this you can see that the hydrogen is the limiting reactant, and of course the nitrogen is the excess reactant. So these are the 2 ways which you can find out if when asked which of these are either limiting or excess reactant. These are the 2 ways for you to actually solve it. Now, in other of my videos, I'm going to talk about percentage yield, theoretical yield very well. This video is just meant for you to identify this limiting reactant and excess reactant.